Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Amit, and in today's video I'm going to be talking to you about a couple of important things that I think that are worth mentioning when you go to Turkey to get your hair transplant. Now, as most of you know, if you follow my channel, I got a hair transplant from Istanbul, Turkey a little over a month ago, and I've been basically documenting my entire journey from the start of the hair transplant I got last year to the one I got this year. If videos like that interest you, definitely consider liking and subscribing to my channel. I post as much as I can about a hair transplant, and I just try to provide as much details and information as possible for you. So yes, if you want to see me grow a full head of hair, please consider subscribing. So I think a lot of people have the question of not knowing what to expect when you get to Turkey, especially if you're going to the clinic that I went to, which was Vera Clinic. It's not as straightforward as some would make it seem. When I got there, I flew in right into Istanbul, Turkey. Istanbul is huge, so one thing to know is that the clinic from the airport is about an hour away. Now, they usually set you up in a hotel before you even get to the clinic, and when they do that, they make sure the hotel is about 5 to 10 minutes away from the clinic. That's super convenient. A lot of people that don't know that, they usually do send you a full package of where exactly you're going to be staying and all the other details that's in that email. But up until then, as someone who's still doing their own research on trying to get to Turkey or get their hair transplant done, you must be wondering how far is the hotel from the clinic and how far is it from the airport. So now that you know the distance away from the airport to the clinic itself, that distance in between, there is a transport service that picks you up from the airport up until the hotel. Now again, you don't have to pay for anything. It's all included in your package that you've already committed to. I have a full detailed video of how much I paid for when I went for my second hair transplant as well as my first. If you're interested in knowing the full details, definitely check it out there. But in the case of you getting to Turkey, you don't really have to worry about spending any money because of the fact that you've already spent it prior. Now, a lot of people ask me also, what are the normal expenses in Turkey if you're going out and checking out other places? In all honesty, when I went, I didn't have time to go and explore the area around me. All I knew was that I was in a very nice hotel. I had free breakfast in the morning, and if I wanted to have food at the afternoon or night, I just ordered room service. The cost of the room service in Turkey was not as pricey as one would think. I'd say it was like about 10 USD for a full meal. That too was like on the higher end. In general, the food, in my opinion, at the hotel wasn't the best, but it was still, it got me through the night and the next day as well, so it wasn't an issue. But yeah, if you are considering to go out and about around that area, I would say do research on where your hotel is and see what's around you. Because again, Turkey is a very big place. You know, if you have the time, that's great. But the area where Vera Clinic is in general, where my clinic was at least, there wasn't so much to see and do. Now, of course, if you're trying to go to the main areas, the more touristy areas, those are still a little ways away from the clinic. So when you are trying to do that, just make sure you're thinking about how long is it going to take you to get there and back. Then comes the Uber costs as well. This is something if you want to spend money on and go and take a trip to any part of Turkey, by all means you should, because you're also there for a little while. But at the same time, if you're going to do all of this, I would suggest do it before your surgery. And because I was only there for 4 days, I didn't really get to explore and see Turkey on my own. I do definitely want to go back because it is such a beautiful city. They have so many amazing spots to check out. Because I was going for the transplant, I only wanted to do that one thing and get it done so I can come back and recover properly. Again, it's up to you. It's up to your choice if you want to go and explore the city. If you do, I do recommend doing it before your hair transplant, a couple of days beforehand, because once you get that hair transplant done, it's going to feel like you don't want to leave the hotel room at all. You're going to want to sit in and recover and not worry about that. So my suggestion, definitely do it before your transplant. The last thing I want to mention is that the airport on the way back, there are a couple of things you definitely should know. First thing is definitely have a check-in bag. When you're at your own clinic, generally they will provide a shampoo and maybe a moisturizer, and they're going to offer you to purchase certain supplements and certain liquids that's going to help your hair, for example, their own type of shampoos or hair care serums. Most of these items are actually above 100 ml, so you can't exactly just have a small roller bag and bring it with you on the plane. You have to have a check-in bag with you. One mistake I made was that I didn't check in my bag and I only had a carry-on, and because of that I had to pay a little more at the airport to check in my bag so I could send everything I had to my home country. Something for you definitely to know is that ask your clinic to see if they can provide you with a small hand carry bag, because those are allowed to be checked in, at least on the airline that I went on. I was able to check in at least 1 to 2 kgs instead of a full 10 kg bag. So that's a little pointer. If you can, double check with your airline, see what their restrictions are. But just know that if you're coming to Turkey with just a carry-on, expect to have a check-in bag on the way back. If you're going to end up getting the supplements or the shampoos or whatnot, you're going to have to eventually check it in. Another important thing that I thought was, especially if you're a foreigner and you're going to visit Turkey for the first time, on the way to Turkey and on the way back, the airport only gives you 1 hour of free Wi-Fi. You'll only have 1 hour to use your Wi-Fi, and after that it's a paid plan. I didn't know this the first time, and it sucked because my flight was maybe an hour or 2 away and my Wi-Fi had finished, so I was stuck without using that at all. Of course, you could always turn on your roaming, spend a little more money, use your phone, or even purchase the plans that they have. It's not that expensive. It's like €5 for like another hour. But I was trying to save money and I didn't want to do that. So just a good tip for you guys, if you're planning to go to the airport in Turkey, just know you only have an hour free, and after that you have to pay. And lastly, I think another really important part of being at the airport in Turkey is that you have nothing to worry about of how you look, because there's literally so many other people at the airport that have probably gone through the same thing as you, or even different things, but they all are in the same boat. For example, there's so many people that have done hair transplants. A lot of people I've seen that have done different cosmetic surgeries like a nose job or a facelift, and there's so many other people there doing these things. It makes you realize it's not a big deal. I know a lot of this insecurity comes when people worry about how you look and whatnot, but you have to understand that you've already done the surgery. You're doing this for yourself, and you're eventually going to look vastly different than you are now. And I think that's the beauty about it, that everyone is very accepting of it, especially nowadays. And I think it's something you can relish and just be happy about, that you've done this now, and all you have to do now is rest and recover. So that's about it for the amount of tips I could probably think of when going to Turkey. I hope some of it was useful to you. If you do still like these videos, do consider liking and subscribing. I'll be posting my next monthly update very soon, and I can't wait to share more and more information with you guys and show you the progress of how my hair has been growing. But until then, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you haven't already, comment as well. Let me know if you want to see different types of videos. I'm happy to go through them. I have a one-on-one service as well. You can definitely sign up. We can have a chat about your situation and your hair transplants, and I'll give you all the information that's very useful to me, and hopefully it provides some usefulness to you as well. Alright, so I think that's it for today. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.